Hey guys, welcome. I'm Mark Crypto Boy in Oz. It is the 30th of August. It's Monday. I should be at work. I'm not. My daughter's not so well. I'm not so well. Full of a cold. I had the first jab yesterday, so that's probably something to do with it. So I thought, bugger it, I'll stay at home. But then if I stay at home, I've got to do a video. So I thought, what can I talk about today? What can I inspire you guys with? What do you want to know? And I think a hot topic today, and probably for the last month or two, is probably Cadano. So that's what I thought I'd jump in and do a bit of a deep dive into Cadano and what it is, what it's going to do, what it's hoping to achieve. Because a lot of people, through no fault of their own, have not got a clue and probably don't really care. So yeah, let's dig deep. So for a bit of a background, just before we get to Cadano, I just want to talk about like blockchains or coins, and then tokens. So a lot of people, like my brother, has asked, what's the difference between like coins and tokens? And for most people, there's probably no difference because it doesn't really matter. But fundamentally, there is a difference. Like the coins themselves, like you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're actual blockchains. So in simple terms, to put it into like something that most people understand, if you think about the internet, so if you think about like Ethereum or Bitcoin or Cardano, these are all blockchains. If you think of them as like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Firefox, so they're the actual building block. So to access the internet, you've got to use one of these platforms. And then if you think of the websites as the actual tokens, so if you think of like, let's pull one out. So Uniswap, for example, is a token and it's built on the Ethereum network. So all these tokens, they're not developing blockchains. The blockchains are already implemented. They've got the capabilities of having tokens built on top of them. So all the hard work is done. All the architecture behind it is done. They're just kind of honing in and like making each project unique in whatever way they desire, whether it to be like a decentralized app or decentralized finance. Whatever it is they want to develop, they can use this platform, this blockchain that's already got the architecture behind it. I'm not saying that right, but if you get my meaning. So that's the difference in really simple terms. So you got the Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, they're blockchains, and then the websites are the tokens that actually work on these websites or on these blockchains, if you will. Probably the simplest way to do it. Now, Bitcoin is the one that came out originally, 2008. That's when it all began. That's when it all started. And then shortly after, I think it was about 2012. I'm not 100% sure when Ethereum actually launched. But it's going back some time when Ethereum launched. And then its founders like Vitalik Buterin, Gavin Wood, I think Jeremy Wood, and then Charles Hoskinson, they all created Ethereum. And then in 2015, I think it was 2015, Charles Hoskinson, I think Jeremy Wood, they left Ethereum and they started Cadano. Now, Cadano is the main net of Cadano. Didn't launch in 2015. It actually launched in 2017. That's when it actually came available for people to jump in on the IDO, which is the ICO, the initial coin offering. And that's when most of the Cadano tokens were actually sold. Then, I mean, Cadano has got 45 billion token. 45 billion coins. And I think almost 60%, that's right, I think almost 60% of those coins were sold in the ICO, which is, it's pretty big. Like if you think about like 45 billion and 60% of them, they went like right at the very beginning, which is kind of crazy. And that generated something like 65 $65 million of funding money, which for the actual for Cadano itself. So it's had a lot of investment from like really early stages, So that's why it's been around for so long, and I think that's why it's kept at the forefront of like the top 10 in market cap. When you look on Coin Market Cap, I mean it's currently at number 3. It's got a market cap of over $90 billion, almost $91 billion. But going back in time, it's always been in the top 10. I don't think it's ever gone out of the top 10 once. So I mean, at the minute, we're at the stage. It's called the Gorgon era, which right now is the smart contract stage. So this has been waiting on now like 4 years. A lot of people call it the ghost network, the ghost chain, because nothing's ever happened to it. But the difference being between Charles Hoskinson and Cadano and like other blockchains is Charles is very mathematical, is very precise, is very particular, and he's also very good in the community. But because of the first 3 I mentioned, everything that he's done is kind of, everything's been peer reviewed by like academics. There's been universities all around the world that have been working on the project. Academics have been working on it. Everything that gets developed gets peer reviewed. So like dig deep in, everybody like that have got these PhDs behind them. They've been looking at each development stage as it's been coming to making sure that it's working as it should be. So by the time smart contracts come live, everything behind the scenes has kind of been developed to the point where it's perfect. Now, obviously, never say never, but you can't imagine much going wrong with Cadano with the amount of academia that's gone on in the background. And this is the first blockchain that's actually done this. No other blockchain has peer-reviewed every single step of the way. I mean, what Charles has done, and how he's kind of begun this journey of creating the Cadano roadmap is like nothing. It's pretty much nothing short of amazing, and I think that's why there's such a big community behind it. So if you're wondering, might not be wondering, but if you're wondering where Cadano actually comes from, like Cadano itself, the guy himself was called Girolamo Cadano. Now I don't know how I pronounced that very well. I mean, he was basically a 16th century Italian mathematician. So like this kind of ties in with Charles's kind of thesis of getting everything peer reviewed and getting everything tested meticulously to make sure everything's working as it should be before it's even put on the test net, let alone the main net. So and coming back to Cadano, what his name? Girolamo Cadano. Makes me wonder, like, Giro Wallet, is that kind of taking it from the fact, like, basically the name behind Cadano? Is that something that we've probably missed and not picked up on? Because I only kind of seen that and noticed it today as I was reading it. So yeah, that's where Cadano actually came from. And then the Cadano's kind of token, coin, if you will, the currency on the blockchain is called ADA, and ADA actually is she's also a 19th century mathematician, and she's called Ada Lovelace, and she's actually the daughter of Byron. So everything's tied in, and it's and if you look at the next phase is Basho, which is the scaling, and this is all gonna be as the project and the smart contracts go live and the demand for more scaling is needed, like the transactions per second, for instance, then that's going to kick in But at the minute, I don't think it's generally needed because the transactions per second are going to be like probably 10 to 30 times faster than what Ethereum is right now. And as we get to the point where it needs to scale even faster, then there's going to be a layer 2 solution, which is called Hydra, which will be then kind of worked into Cardano's back end, like a layer 2 solution, which apparently will then be able to scale up to 1 million transactions per second. But to be perfectly frank, I think to get to that point, when will that be needed? I mean, how adopted will blockchain crypto have to be before you need to do 1 million transactions per second? Because to put it into perspective, Visa's transactions can do, I think currently they're doing about 17,000 transactions per second, and I think they can probably go up to 24,000 transactions per second. So if like Hydra can do 1 million TPS transactions per second, I think that's a long time down the line, and maybe only come into effect if you're going to be getting like synthetic trading of the stock markets around the world, and you probably have to have every stock market from every country trading on a blockchain to actually need anywhere near 1 million transactions per second. So at the minute, I don't think it's anything to worry about. I mean, it's off the bat, it's 10 to 30 times faster than Ethereum. So at the minute, I mean, until Ethereum 2.0 comes out, and that might change, but at the minute it's way faster and it's way cheaper and it's not going to be as congested. But time will tell on that, and there's no way of knowing 100% until the mainnet is up and everything's running on it. And that's the only downside with Cadano, because you've got all these promises where people are talking about what's going to be happening, what it's going to do, but until it's actually live, being implemented, and there's all these different projects that have built on and running on the Cadano ecosystem, there's no way of knowing if it's going to be completely smooth. I mean, I would imagine there's going to be some hiccups here and there at some point, but it'll be a case of just seeing how it goes in the near future to see what happens. Now, back to Charles Hoskinson. Now, if you look at his YouTube page, he's got 265,000 subscribers, and the difference here with Charles, and the reason why he's got such a massive community, and why Cadano is so community focused and community driven, is it's basically how he started, and he started as a means to go on. He's constantly doing updates, filling you in on different things that are going to be happening. Some of it's crypto related, some of it isn't. Like one of the videos he did was just on Afghanistan. Then another one was on giveaway scams, because YouTube is full of them, like promising that if you send your tokens to this address, they'll send you double back. You don't really get any other founders doing this kind of stuff on YouTube. Charles is like at the forefront of it. He wants to nip it in the bud. He wants to inform everybody that it's all a scam, and then he's doing all the updates. Like 2 days ago, his latest one, brief update on Alonso. So he's really into the community. He's constantly doing developer videos just to keep the developers up to speed. The amount of time and effort he puts into creating content just for the community, though, is like really good. And I think that's why it's got such a good backing. I mean, Cadano itself, just in the last 12 months, I think it's gone up 1,500%. Sorry, not 12 months. Since the beginning of the year, so since the beginning of January, it's gone up 1,500%. 1,500. And if you think about it, at the minute, it doesn't do anything. Like, smart contracts only come live on the 12th of September, and you've got all these projects what are going to be coming, they're coming to Cadano. Some of them are already here. But until they're actually up and running on the Cadano blockchain, it's still not done anything yet. So this is like all speculation. It's people that are anticipating how big Cadano's going to be. And it just shows much value people put into Cardano as an ecosystem, as a community. It's amazing to think it's got a market cap of $90 billion, and its smart contracts aren't live yet. It's very good. I'm just gonna go over to this tweet. Where were we? So this is input output Hong Kong, which is like behind Cadano, and it just basically said, today we have just submitted an upgrade proposal to Cadano testnet to hard fork the chain into the Alonzo era and enable smart contract capabilities. This will take effect within the next few hours. Now, this was only tweeted 2 days ago. So he's put, this is a major milestone and marks the final critical stage prior to the hard fork in the Cadano mainnet on the 12th of September. Over the days ahead, we'll be doing final checks and testing within a controlled environment to ensure that we are ready to upgrade the main Cadano network and usher in a transformative era of smart contracts capabilities. Thanks to our dedicated team and colleagues for all their incredible hard work, and to all the SPOs, pioneers and developers, partners, and this whole amazing community for bringing us to this point, nearly there now, onwards. And this is what I'm talking about with Charles. He's really in touch with the community. He really appreciates everything that everybody's doing. And don't get me wrong, they've made him a multi-billionaire, but he's a genuine guy, and you get that from him when you're listening to his YouTube videos. And just to give you an idea on the scale of Cadano and how it's progressing, just look at, where are we? Where's this tweet? So this was Cadano, the Cadano ecosystem in May of 2021. So this is like 3 months ago. So these are the platforms what are already ready for the Cadano mainnet to go live. So you on these AMMs like Polyswap, Cardox, YaySwap, SundaeSwap, there's all these different AMMs, IDO platforms, CardStarter, Ventup, Oakham Finance, and you got the Oracles. I mean, a lot of these might not mean anything to you, or they might not be important to you, but these are already being built on other blockchains, ready to be ported over to the Cadano smart contracts as soon as it goes live. So the second it switched on the 12th of September, all of these will be moving over to Cadano, and they'll be on the Cadano mainnet. And these are like really good projects to be getting into, because they're like the new projects, and they've been developed for Cadano. So getting in on these projects can give you massive wealth. So I'm talking about Cadano, but when Cadano pumps, all the projects on Cadano pump as well. So like, these are something to keep in mind when you're looking at what you're investing in. I mean, bear in mind, some of these projects, they're not just native to Cadano. Some of them are on other other blockchains too, like Celsius. Is on another blockchain, but it's moving over to Cadano. But this is in May, and just to show you the difference, just look at this. This is now in August. So if you were unsure about Cadano and putting trust in a system, putting trust in a blockchain that has so far not done anything, just look at all these projects. So all these projects have put faith into Cadano to create their projects on the Cadano blockchain. Now this is massive. I mean, look at I mean, good God. I mean, there's five LAUNCHPADs. What, 17, 18 dexes, 15 wallets. I mean, the ecosystem here is growing like rapidly. I mean, the NFT gaming space, I mean, this is like really new. NFTs have kind of been taking over this last few months. They've been around for a while, but they're only coming into fruition now. People are actually understanding how big they can be. But what I'm getting at, if you're investing in Cardano, have faith, because you're investing in a blockchain that people say hasn't done anything. It's been doing something for 4 years. It's not been doing nothing. It's been developing. It's been developing the blockchain. So when it launches, it's as good as it can be. It's foreseen any hiccups that can come along, and they've kind of worked with them to kind of perfect the system as best they can before it's actually launched. And all these projects obviously believe big and invested time, money, effort into developing on the Cadano blockchain. So I think if anybody's out there that's kind of unsure, when you look at this ecosystem, this is only now. This is like right now. This is going to be continuously increasing over the coming weeks, months, and years ahead. And it wouldn't surprise me if, looking at the coin market, if you look at the like coin market cap, and you've got a $90 billion market cap, I could seriously see this like going, even by the end of this cycle, easily to 250 to $300 billion. And the good thing is as well about anybody that's looking at Cardano, you don't need to be too technically savvy, where you need to start thinking about, how do I use MetaMask wallet? How do I use like decentralized exchanges? Because Cadano itself is available from pretty much every single exchange. So if you, I don't know, if you're in, most people will use like Binance or Coinbase, or got KuCoin. But if you're in Australia, you've got SwiftX, you've got CoinSpot. You can pretty much buy Cardano from anywhere. So it's easy for people to actually invest in. And even now, it's gone up 1,500% since the beginning of the year, and it's gone up 100% in the last month. Even now at $2.80, if you're looking at Cadano 5 years, 10 years down the line, if you could pick it up at $2.80, you'll be like thinking it was so cheap. Now, there's always going to be someone that got in earlier than you. There's always somebody that's made way more money than you have. Like, people that got in on these IDOs, they were like fractions of a penny. I mean, I bought it at 20 cents. So it's already gone up phenomenal. Like, it's gone up like crazy from where I bought it. But don't get in the mentality where it's, oh, if I'd have bought it this time last year, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Look at Bitcoin. It's $47,000. You think the people that got this for next to nothing when they were mining it for free? I mean, they've made massive gains, but you've got people that paid $64,000 for Bitcoin, and they're currently like $17,000 down. But if you're looking at a 5-10 year timescale, it doesn't matter, because you're going to make massive, massive wealth. What I will point out before I end this stream, I'm just going to go back to this, the Cadano ecosystem. So for anybody that's like really, really new into crypto, and you're thinking, obviously you got to invest in Cadano, I think a good mindset to have is pick an ecosystem, pick a blockchain that you truly believe in. And like, for people that maybe think I've missed out on Ethereum, because Ethereum's already like $3,000. I mean, Cadano realistically could never get to that amount, and you've got to look at market caps. In fact, I'll just jump back just to explain this. So when you look at the price, you're looking at Cadano at $2.80, then you're looking at Ethereum at $3,000, and you're thinking, oh my god, like, what if Cadano could get to $3,000? You've got to look at the market cap. So the market cap of Ethereum is $374 billion. Cadano is $90 billion. So if Cadano went if Ethereum didn't move and Cadano 4x, it went up 400%, that'd mean Cadano would be $3 billion $364 billion. So if it 4x'd, so it was the same size as Ethereum, that doesn't mean it'd go up to $3,000. It means it'd 4x. So this amount 4x would take you to almost this amount here. So $2.80 times by 4 is what you'd get to. So that'd put like Cadano at what, $10.80, something like that. 11.80. My brain isn't working, but basically 4 times $2.80 is what the price of Cadano would be. So like $11 or something. So that's what you've got to get. You've got to kind of understand and get your head around. And the reason why is because the actual circulating supply, or the total supply, that's not showing up, but the circulating supply of Ethereum is 117 million. And the Cadano, the circulating supply, is 32 billion, but there is 45 billion max supply. So if you think 117 million, you need to get to 1,000 million to get to 1 billion. So it's like what, a ninth? Call it a tenth. It's not a tenth, but call it a tenth. 10%. 10% of a billion. And Cadano is 45 billion max supply. So that's why the price difference varies so much. And it doesn't matter what the price is. This is what you've got to get your head around as well. It doesn't matter what the price is. It's how much you invest. Like if you invest $10,000 in Cadano, like it doesn't matter what the price of it is. It's how much it goes up. And Cadano is a safe bet to get in. And Cadano, in my opinion, is one that can actually go up way more than what Ethereum can go up, just because I think it's going to get the network effect. And because it's so cheap. And despite what I've just explained, a lot of people don't really understand, or they don't see the value in purchasing, say, $1,000 worth of Ethereum opposed to $1,000 of Cadano. They don't see that value, which is a shame. But like if you're purchasing like $1,000 of Cadano, you're getting a lot of Cadano. Whereas if you purchase $1,000 of Ethereum, you're only getting like 0.25, 0.3, like 28% or something of Ethereum. You're not even getting anywhere near a full Ethereum. But it doesn't really matter because how much it goes up. That's the thing. But a lot of people would sooner have a lot of a cheaper coin than like fractions of an expensive coin. And it's just a mentality that people have. And I get it, because I look at it the same way sometimes, even though you shouldn't, but you do. You can't help it. It's just human nature. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If I've missed anything that you wanted me to talk about, or you wanted me to mention specifically about Cadano, then please drop it in the comments, because I might just do an updated video, like a little mini one added on to the back of this, like a part 2, if you will, because I'd like to answer any of your questions. I'll just quickly jump back to this Cadano ecosystem, what I was talking about before I kind of got sidetracked. So when you look at Cadano and you think, this is the ecosystem I believe in, this is the one that I want to put 10 years of investment away. I want to put money away Cadano. I want to forget about it for 10 years. I trust it's going to be here. I believe in what it's going to do. Like Charles has created Cadano to change the world, to basically make the unbanked banked in all these third world countries, give them identities, something that they've never had before. Working closely with countries in Africa, already in Ethiopia, Cadano was a massive presence, getting like students on the blockchain, on databases. That was a big stutter. Like the fundamentals behind Cadano are like to change the world. That's Charles's belief. He really, really wants to improve the world, especially these like third world countries where they've never had anything before. So once you've chose Cardano as your ecosystem, which I have, I mean, I do invest in other blockchains as well, but Cardano is like my go-to. It's my favorite one. Then you want to be looking at like different areas within the ecosystem. So say you want to invest in a wallet, so you want to invest in a DEX or a LAUNCHPAD, a payment app, NFT, you want to pick an NFT. Like, do your research and start looking deep into all these different projects within the actual ecosystem itself. Like personally, I invest heavily into Giro Wallet. I invest in Oaken Finance. I invest in Charlie 3. And I'm going to hopefully get some Sunday Swap, because you get that by staking your Cadano. And what I will say as well, just to finish off, Cadano is a community-driven blockchain, and its community like blasts all its way through the ecosystem. And by that I mean the mentality of all the people that are involved in Cadano. It's all like focused on the community, the Cadano community. All the developers, they all kind of want to reintroduce like life, if you will, into other platforms that are on the Cadano system. So they really believe in Cadano as a whole, and it's like one big family, and they want to support one another. So like Charlie 3, for instance, is an Oracle which is competing with Chainlink, which Chainlink probably does about 90% of all projects across all blockchains. But difference being with Cadano, because it's such a community-driven blockchain and ecosystem, like all these projects are going to be leaning towards Charlie 3 to look after their particular project, and you're going to get integration within all these different blockchains where they kind of keep it in-house, to keep it in the Cadano ecosystem, just because of how it's been developed and how Charles has kind of mentored everybody in the direction of keeping it all community-driven. And that's why Cadano's got the biggest community. And this isn't like speculation, this is like 100% fact. It's got the biggest community in the whole of the crypto space. And just to give you an idea, I think 70%, might be more, 70% of all Cadano are staked, supporting the network. Proof of stake, because you get 5%, you get up to 5% for staking your Cadano, but 70% of all Cadano are staked, which is absolutely unbelievable. So on that note, I shall finish. I'll just jump back to my YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. What I always say, invest well, don't invest in shit. It's the only swear word I say, but I just want to get my point across. Specifically invest in good projects, whether it's Cadano or Solana or Polkadot or Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it is you invest in, just make sure it's a good project with good founders, good developers, good fundamentals. It's got a use case. It's actually doing something primarily, and you won't go wrong. And remember, there's a crypto boy in every single one of you, including you women out there.